Yo, what's up, guys? Today, I am going to be watching Pokemon Horizons Mega Voltage Arc teaser trailer starting April 11th. I don't know what we're gonna see. I'm kind of been spoiled a little bit, so I'm trying not to be I'm trying not to spoil people that haven't seen it. So let's get right into it. First, we gotta get past an ad. Hope you like this switch to part 2 trailer. Whoa. Oh, this is in the different language. Yo! Mega. And I did see that, Roy has a shiny Lucario that can Mega Evolve. Plus, I haven't did a video on the new event, which, by the way, has it's gonna be Horizon themed. It's gonna be for it's for the season 2. It's for the second season. So, like, you'll see, for the first time, not only Floragato spawning, but Floragato with a costume is spawning in the wild. Also, Pikachu's coming back. And it has an increased shiny rate, which I didn't get it the first time when it came out the first time. Also, there's gonna be, they're going to be able to be shiny because they're community days. Quaxley, sadly not. So, we're probably getting that in August or, surprisingly, in June or something. I don't know. Maybe in June. I don't know. July, I doubt it because that's when we get our, GoFest Dragon shiny that they released of, last GoFest. So, I know that's Jangmo-O, but let's just watch the rest of this. Wow.
Roy reunites with Liko in episode 90. They will try to reunite the Rising Volt tackler.
Episode 90? There's already 90 episodes of Horizons. That's crazy. That's crazy. We already have 90 episodes. I mean, again, it's Gen 9. Let's see what else.
In hopes of finding Charizard and Freed, Spinel has captured all of Lucius's Pokemon, except for Rayquaza. A new character named Aruto will make his debut, and he owns a Sableye. Both Roy and Aruto have Mega Rings, and have trained together in Kalos. The series will take a 2-week break, and will...
Oh! That is interesting. So they've trained with Mega in Kalos, or however you say Kalos.
Continue on April 11th with a 1-hour special featuring 2 back-to-back episodes.
This is gonna be April 11th. For, I don't know, US or, I don't know. That is just... We get to see what Roy and... what they all look like grown up. Like, is this like an exclusive Japanese series? Whoa, what? What the? Let's just watch this too.
Congratulations, it's a bargain!
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Of its new store in Carbondale on Wednesday, April...
The Pokemon anime's Rayquaza Rising arc has concluded, and its ending shocked everyone. From an intense battle against White Zygarde, the disappearance of Freed, and now a 1-year time skip, this arc ends with some of the anime's boldest twists yet. Here's what's happening in Pokemon Horizons.
Don't spoil everybody.
The truth revealed, Amethio's resolve. Now that the Rising Volt tacklers have all 6 hero Pokemon, they're finally on their way to Laqua. I really like how the group speculates on what they might discover, especially regarding Lockwium's nature and the explorer's possible plans for it. Thanks to Molly's medical expertise, they hypothesized that Lockwium might have rapid healing properties, which could explain Gibeon's unnaturally long lifespan. This was a clever way to showcase how sharp the crew is. They've essentially pieced together the explorer's goals just by connecting the dots from their past encounters. But the explorers aren't idle either.
Okay.
While they're also heading towards Lockwa, Amethio is on his own mission, investigating Spinel's secret plot. Although he gets caught snooping, Hamber steps in to bail him out, leading to a major lore dump. Not just about Gibeon, but Amethio as well. We learned that Amethio's mother, Gibeon's daughter, died in a car accident when he was young. With Amethio's father busy running Exceed, Hamber stepped in as a parental figure, raising Amethio. It's also revealed that Hamber trained all of the Explorers admins except for Spinel, who's originally an Exceed researcher promoted into the Explorers. Amethio and Hamber both suspect that Spinel plans to betray Gibeon at Lockwa for his own scientific gain, which finally explains the tension between Spinel and Amethio. Spinel knows that Amethio won't stand by and let that happen. What really stood out in this episode, though, was how it painted Gibeon in a more nuanced light. Up until now, we've mostly seen Gibeon through Ristel's perspective, someone who believed he went mad and betrayed the original Explorers. Spinel knows that Amethio won't stand by and let that happen. What really stood out in this episode, though...
Well, let's pause a little bit. That literally looks like a, the protagonist, but they dressed up different. One looks like they took Lego's head. Sorry if I'm disgusting you. I feel like this is gonna be a good anime.
Gibeon in a more nuanced light. Up until now, we've mostly seen Gibeon through Ristel's perspective, someone who believed he went mad and betrayed the original Explorers. But through Hamber, we get a glimpse of Gibeon's side. He felt betrayed by his only friends, and even Zygarde, though he believed his actions were justified. We even learn about the formation of the Exceed Company, revealing that Gibeon's ultimate goal has always been the betterment of both people and Pokemon. This adds layers to Amethio's motivation. From his family's point of view, Lucius is the villain, not Gibeon. And with Spinel not positioned as a true wild card, someone with genuine malicious intentions, it blurs the lines between right and wrong, making the villains feel a bit more complex. All of this sets the stage for an inevitable confrontation that's going to be very interesting.
That is pretty.
This episode's rating is an 8 out of 10. Episode 84, The Place Where Heaven and Earth Meet. The Black Rayquaza has led the Rising Voltaglers to Lockwa's potential location. However, because the altitude is too high and to prevent the Brave Olivine from bursting, Liko, Roy, Dot, and Freed continue on foot.
Of course you had to put the edit of the exploding sound effect, the exploding meme. Of course you had to put that in there. Of course you had to do that. I don't blame you.
Guess the others are just gonna miss out? This episode serves as a breather before the big reveal of Lockwa, while also setting up more of the events from...
I think, the US hasn't got the, episodes of, them going to Area Zero yet, so... That's kind of a tease to me.
100 years ago. I think it does a solid job, but it also feels like two different episodes crammed into one. The first half has the gang exploring Kumari Town, where they meet an annoying kid named Yuha who hates Rayquaza because of the story.
If you're not a Rayquaza fan, then get out. No, I'm just kidding.
Is passed down by the town elder, and since Roy's the biggest Rayquaza glazer, he can't stand the slander, and the two constantly butt heads. I wasn't a fan of this part. It didn't really add much to the story. There's even a subplot where Yuha's Noibat gets lost, leading to an attack from Vibrava. While it was nice to see the gang use their secondary Pokemon, they immediately get overshadowed once the starters step in to finish the job. Man, they really do their second Pokemon dirty sometimes. While this wasn't particularly engaging, Freed's side story was more interesting. Not only was it cool because the Elder is voiced by Masako Nozawa, the Japanese voice of Goku, but she also reveals how Gibeon escaped Lockwa 100 years ago and how his injuries were treated in this very town. This explains why there's an Exceed facility here, and even reveals the Explorer's headquarters at the base of the mountain. Liko spots it, but doesn't really know what this random facility is about, but since we saw what the Explorer's base looks like in the previous episode, it all starts to click. It makes perfect sense. If Gibeon is after Lockwium, having his base near Lockwa is a logical move.
That is
the second half of the episode was much stronger. It follows the gang's journey to Lockwa, with Lucius's hero Pokemon actively helping along the way. This made it feel like they were truly approaching the end goal.
Wow, first time seeing Cleavor in this. I've never seen Cleavor in the anime, so this is the first time they show Cleavor in the anime. Okay.
However, this segment felt too short.
What? They're showing gouging fire too?
I definitely would have preferred an entire episode focused on this, rather than
Normal
giving each Pokemon barely a minute to shine.
Seen that in the
I
first
blame that
season.
annoying Yuha kid for taking up too much screen time. Overall, this was a fine breather before the big Lockwood reveal in the next episode, so I'm excited to see what's next.
I can't believe they showed gouging fire in this.
Those rating is a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Episode 85. Arrival, the Paradise of Laqua.
Arrival.
With the group arriving at the peak of the mountain, they finally reached their destination of Laqua.
I feel like they're spoiling episodes. I'm fine with that.
This was really cool. Not only was it interesting
Sorry that I'm spoiling you guys, but I just wanted to watch this.
to see this mysterious land be hidden within the peak of a mountain,
Also, tonight / today, the Minecraft movie released, and I'm definitely watching that.
but the unique ecosystem really shows why this is considered a
Whoa,
Pokemon paradise.
it's basically
From the Pokemon being friendly towards humans, to natural enemies vibing together, and legendary Pokemon just casually pulling up, this
Whoa,
truly feels like a land
Zapdos?
like no other. Now, although things are great, this peaceful side of Laqua
Starters,
is not what was
wow.
described by Ristal,
Skiddo.
meaning their true destination is much deeper inside. Aside from finally introducing Laqua to the group, the other big part of this episode involves legal.
Dry eyes still
Here's
feel
another
gritty,
stupid ad.
rough, or tired?
They also changed the how they transition to ads. The video that you're watching, the screen will go black and then turn to the ad.
With Mybo, eyes can
Meaning their true destination is much deeper inside.
Whoa.
Aside from finally introducing Laqua to the group, the other big part of this episode involves Liko, Roy, and Dot reflecting on their journey that has brought them to this place, with flashbacks and all. I actually didn't mind this as it was
Wow.
fitting, considering this is their ultimate goal after all. Liko even has a moment of melancholy as she realizes their adventure might be over soon, as her main goal was to help Pogogo reach Laqua. And now they have done just that. She even questions whether or not Pogogo will choose to leave her in order to stay here, which is a possible outcome.
Please say that Liko uses Terapagos. Please. Just please.
However, Roy and Dot believe that the bond they formed will make them stay together forever, reassuring Liko. I think what I like about this moment is that it kinda tricks the audience into thinking that the Horizon series as a whole is coming to an end, but we all know there's way more surprises and twists yet to come. But at least for this arc, this is definitely the end, and it does a nice job at prepping the audience for the climax. The group eventually reaches their true destination,
Wow.
the barrier Pogogo created in order to seal the Loquium.
Wow.
And after Pogogo uses its full power to
Wait,
remove
yes! Yes! I called it! I actually called it.
said barrier, the pathway is opened. I like how when Freed decides to go ahead to inspect the area, he trusts Liko and the group to take care of themselves if something comes up. It really shows how Freed recognizes their growth. And what do you know, immediately after, they're ambushed by the explorers. So overall, this was a fine episode, but there really wasn't much to the plot when you think about it. It was mostly just the group's reaction to entering Laqua, along with the calm moments of reflection. But it does set up an intense confrontation for the next episode. So things are really
Yes! The girl that gets Screamtail. I've always wanted to see Screamtail in this in the anime so bad.
picking up now. This episode's rating is a 6 out of 10.
The way he says 10, it sounds so funny.
Episode 86. The Rising Voltacklers versus the Explorers.
Oh, this is basically
With the pathway to Laqua finally opened, Gideon and his
Let's
white
check
Zygarde
Zygarde.
begin their move. Meanwhile, the Rising Voltacklers face off against the Explorers' admins, setting up an intense battle. I really like the early exchange between both sides, where the Explorers reveal that they've been trailing the crew the entire time, letting them reach Laqua just to break the barrier for them. This makes it feel like the entire journey was orchestrated by them, but Liko immediately shuts that down, declaring that their adventure was their own. It was a strong moment that reinforced their growth.
Wait.
Tying back to the reflection in the previous episode.
Please say
At first, the trio
Screamtail pops
struggles.
out.
They're
Come
up
on,
against
come on.
Coral's newly
Yes! Yes! I've always wanted to see this. Oh my. Dude. Yet again, Screamtail's my second favorite now.
Screamtail and the explorers predict their every move. Even when Doc comes up with a strategy to use water to disrupt Medichamp's movements, Chouse reads right through it and dodges. She thinks on the fly though, using the beam struggle between Screamtail and Crocolore to bounce Aqua Cutter off the attacks and finally land a hit.
Yeah.
This is when the tide of the battle changes, as the trio pushes past their limits, inspiring each other, and even with Coral and Sidian terastallizing, Ligo and Roy manage to defeat them without using their own terrestrial energy. This really showcases the group's strength. But the real highlight, Freed versus Spinel. Separating their battle was the right call, as it lets Ligo and the others prove themselves while giving Freed room to go all out.
What?
And the fact that this was a double battle added so much more depth to the fight. Spinel had some crazy counters, like using Skill Swap to seal Cap's Lightning Rod ability. Freed is built different, however, as Charizard and Cap work in perfect sync, showing their deep trust. The wildest moment is when Charizard terastallizes and fires a Dark Terra Blast at Umbreon, while Cap, holding onto Umbreon, prepares Thunder Punch. Thanks to Lightning Rod, Behem gets drawn in, putting it directly in front of the blast. But that's not even the craziest part. Cap doesn't take damage because it now has Behem's telepathy ability, protecting it from ally attacks. Dude, my mind was blown. That was one of the best strategies in this series. With that, Spinel easily goes down. Things may look good now, but Gideon is still out there. This battle was just the beginning, as the real chaos is about to unfold.
So that means, wait.
This episode's rating is an 8 out of 10. Episode 87, Guidance of the Black Rayquaza.
Or Shiny Rayquaza. Which, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they did an event for that. Like, I have a shiny one. Like, it says everyone gets at least one. Everyone gets at least one. You can't get more than one.
Things get serious as Gideon finally reaches the Lockwium he spent a century searching for. The most interesting detail here is the device attached to his suit, which temporarily heals his disability using Lockwium, basically confirming that he's been relying on it to stay alive.
Is this dude a robot? Is this dude, like, you have to use some stuff to survive, dude? He literally... Oh, just want to...
As he begins extracting the Lockwium, history starts to repeat itself, but this time...
Jeez. How big is Zygarde? How big is Zygarde 50%?
A Methiel steps in to stop him. This moment was huge, something we've been waiting for since the start of the series. But what makes it even better is that a Methiel isn't here to fight Gideon. He's here to save him. That extra layer of nuance makes it way more compelling. A Methiel knows he has to defy his grandfather to protect him from Spinel. And shout out to Zerkananya for backing him up, betraying the Explorers admins to let Ligo and the gang through. They're so loyal, man. I love it. Unfortunately, Gideon refuses to listen, feeling nothing but disappointment towards Amethio. Then things go completely insane. Zygarde wasn't digging for Lockwium, it was freeing Lucius. Lucius has been alive this entire time. This reveal is massive. Sure, we all kind of suspected Lucius might still be alive somehow, but actually seeing him reunite with his Pokemon...
That's literally Ligo in the future. That's literally Ligo in the future.
And meet the main cast was so satisfying. But that's not even the craziest part. The real twist is that Zygarde has been working with Lucius all along, using its cells left at Lockwood.
Hi, I'm checking in. Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan. Oh, thank you. I love.
But that's not even the craziest part. The real twist is that Zygarde has been working with Lucius all along. Using its cells left at Lockwood, Zygarde has been feeding Lucius information about the outside world, helping him communicate with Rayquaza to find trainers worthy of gathering the hero Pokemon, all to end Lockwium once and for all. This twist blew my mind, and conveniently, it also skips the need for Lucius to catch up on everything. He's been following Ligo's journey the whole time. But despite Lucius's warnings, the explorers began extracting Lockwium anyways, completely ignoring the risks. We immediately see the consequences. Since Freed's Pokemon were weakened in battle, Cap and Charizard go berserk and knock each other out, effectively removing Freed from the final fight. It's a smart way to take him out, so the true climax can belong to Ligo, Roy, Dot, and Amethio. One last detail I loved, even though Zygarde betrayed Gideon, it still responds to his plea to fight. After 100 years, Zygarde is the only trusted partner Gideon has left. That's kinda sad, honestly. They have formed a bond, even though Gideon's actions contradict Zygarde's role as a protector. This was fantastic build-up, setting the stage for the final battle. This episode's rating is a 9 out of 10. Episode 88. Shockwaves from the White Zygarde.
Wow.
As Terapagos gathers the power of the hero Pokemon to purify the Laquium,
what?
Episode 88.
Go back.
Shockwaves from the White Zygarde. As
we see gouging fire in Cleavor.
Gathers the power of the hero Pokemon.
And then Terapagos.
Purify the Laquium. Liko, Roy, Dot, and Amethio stand as the final line of defense against Gibeon and his White Zygarde. Even with all the 4 trainers terrestrializing, they stand no chance at first. Zygarde is on a
what? Why am I shocked? It's a stupid mythical. Why am I surprised? It takes damage.
Every move. They try attacking from different angles, coordinating their attacks, even striking from above, but Zygarde is prepared for everything. This really sells the overwhelming power of this legendary Pokemon, but leave it to Big Brain Dot to find an opening. She notices that after using 1,000 arrows, Zygarde has a brief recharge period while it recollects its cells. The group sees their chance, and never mind, 1,000 Waves completely shuts down that strategy too. Man, this battle was such an uphill struggle, and I loved watching them try to adapt.
If this was in a Pokemon game, then this is like for gamers that are like do hard Pokemon battles and stuff. This is like, if this was in a Pokemon game, this is like the Volo battle in Pokemon Legends Arceus in the post game.
Their biggest strength is their teamwork. Early on, Amethio is completely out of sync, as he's used to fighting alone. But after getting called out by Liko and the others, they remind him that this isn't his fight alone. Slowly but surely, he starts to work with them. The big turning point comes when Amethio commands Cerulege's Phantom Force to help everyone dodge a Core Enforcer, finally allowing them to land their first real hit on Zygarde. From here, their coordination improves dramatically, letting them land more effective attacks. Even still, Zygarde completely overpowers them, breaking every single Pokemon out of terrestrialization. Just when things seem hopeless, Liko and Floragato make one final push. The beam struggle between Core Enforcer and Magical Leaf, while a little unrealistic, let's be honest, was still hype as heck. But more than just visuals, this moment was also about the bond between Liko and Floragato, leading to a long-awaited evolution into Meowscarada. If I'm being honest, I've never been a huge fan of Meowscarada, but this episode actually made me start to change my mind. Meowscarada was such a beast. With Amethio support, Meowscarada lands a critical flower trick on Zygarde, earning its respect. That moment completely recontextualizes the battle, because realistically, they never stood a chance. Zygarde was testing their bonds with their Pokemon, and after witnessing their resolve, it chose to leave.
Please say that, we get Quackleval and, Skeldurge. I'm sure we're gonna get those.
Effectively making Gibeon lose the battle. This was huge. Not only do we see Gibeon completely break down, but it also highlights the difference between him and the heroes. He could never comprehend the power of the bonds between people and Pokemon, because he only saw things from a scientific perspective. The only time he ever experienced that connection was when he pleaded for Zygarde's help in the last episode. And what really drives this home? Amethio understands this too, because he does have that bond with Cerulege. Man, what can I say? This episode was awesome. While there were a few moments where I felt like the animation was kinda lacking, it absolutely makes up for it in other scenes. This was a fantastic conclusion to the battle against Gibeon, and now with Terapagos fully powered into its stellar form, there's only the Laquium to deal with in the next episode. This episode's rating is a 10 out of 10.
I agree with you. That's a 10 out of 10. Plus with dude, Pokemon anime, what they do, it's like, they do stuff like battling. Pokemon evolve during battle. Like, that can't happen during like, the actual game.
Episode 89. At the end of the adventure.
Wait.
We've officially reached the finale of the Rayquaza Rising arc. And man, this was insane. It opens with Stellar Form Terapagos completely eliminating the Laquium. And yeah, I didn't expect that to happen that fast. But with Laquium gone, Gibeon's plan is officially cooked. What follows is a pretty emotional moment for him. Amethio and Lucius finally reached Gibeon, reminding him of his original goal.
I don't even feel bad for him at all.
Amethio chooses to carry that dream forward,
I
just
don't feel
without
bad for
Lockwood.
villains
That was a great way to
unless
show his
they
turning
like
point.
apologize.
Lucius also adds that Zygarde originally sided with Gibeon because they once shared that same goal. It's not a full redemption, but it does show Gibeon that he did start out with good intentions. Then we get to the wildest moment of all. Lucius and Gibeon die. Straight up Lucario movie style. Since Lockwood has been keeping them alive all this time, and with it being gone...
What? Say that again.
Then we get to the wildest moment of all. Lucius and Gibeon die.
You can't do that. You can't just say, in like 2 episodes, they already die. You can't say that this girl right here with holding Terapagos dies when they met the protagonists literally in 2 episodes. Don't tell me that you... Oh my God.
Straight up Lucario movie style. Since Lockwood has been keeping them alive all this time, and with it being gone, it does make sense that their lifespan is over. I'm just shocked that Pokemon actually did something like this. They go peacefully though, leaving behind their dreams for the next generation to fulfill, setting the stage perfectly for what's next.
Dude.
And although things have calmed, with Gibeon gone, that sneaky little weasel Spinel shows his true colors and steps up as the new leader of the Explorers. Using the last of the Lockwium, he sends the 6 heroes into a rampage. The squad just barely survived Zygarde, and now they're up against these 6 titans? Yeah, they are not ready for that. Thankfully, Rayquaza resists the corruption and protects them long enough to escape. One quick thing worth mentioning here is that now that Lucius is gone, all of his Pokemon are officially wild again. That obviously sets up Roy to catch Rayquaza later, which is pretty hype. The power of the heroes' battle causes massive environmental damage, but luckily the brave Olivine arrives using its Mega Evolution Kuda Burst boost to save the crew. But it's not without a cost. For one, the strong winds and high altitude is taking a toll on the ship, and also the winds take Freed and Charizard with it. He saves Cap at the last minute, but he's blown overboard. And 1 year later, he's still missing. That's right, Freed might be dead, guys. F in the chat for the GOAT. Okay, it's not...
Dude, Freed's a main character and you don't... Freed... Dude, Pokemon Company, they don't just make characters die and you don't see them again. They make them come back. That's just messed up.
Confirmed that he's dead, but missing for a whole year after that, it's not looking good for him. During the time skip, Spinel now leads Exceed. The Explorers are public knowledge and are seen as the good guys.
That's just messed up.
While the Rising Volt Tacklers are being framed for the Laqua incident? Insane.
What? You can't just blame them, dude.
As for Liko, it seems she's back at school, while Roy is traveling with Captain Pikachu and the
Okay, so Roy has Pikachu now. Interesting. I was wondering who Pikachu's gonna... Okay, so... Cap goes with Roy now. Okay, so... I mean, if I was a main character and Pikachu chose me, I would be like, we'll be great. Good team.
Tiny Lucario? Who does bro think he is? Ash Ketchum? Overall, this...
Ash Ketchum.
was a great way to end the Rayquaza Rising arc. Not with a clean victory, but with real stakes, real loss, and a bold setup for what's to come. This episode's rating is a 9 out of 10.
Is that it?
Meet a digital bank account built for businesses like yours. With American Express...
And Pikachu have traveled to the pole.
That is crazy, but we will do this in the next time I'll see ya. So see ya. And that's the season 3.